60 Minutes with Angela starts right now.
Now, since 1999, when Nigeria returned to democratic rule, Nigeria's president and vice president have always represented a combination of religions and geopolitical zones. Now, what do I mean by that? In 1999, for instance, when Olusegun Obasanjo was elected president, he was a southerner and he was a Christian. His running mate was a northerner and a Muslim. Same thing happened 8 years later in 2007. We had Umar Musa Yar'Adua, may his soul rest in peace, was elected as president. He was a northerner and a Muslim. His vice president, Goodluck Jonathan, was a southerner and a Christian. In 2015, Muhammadu Buhari was elected president. He was a northerner and a Muslim, and his running mate was a southerner and a Christian. In fact, a pastor of a major Pentecostal church here in Nigeria. Now, going into the presidential election of 2023, the two main political parties, that's the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, APC, and the main opposition party, People's Democratic Party, seem to have jettisoned that concept. They're doubling down and insisting that these two factors, religion and ethnicity, have no role whatsoever to play in selecting Nigeria's president. Now that the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, Walid Jibrin, has said that it is unfair for the party's presidential candidate and national chairman to both hail from the same region. Are all the parties pretending that all is well, especially the ruling party that's decided to go with a Muslim ticket? That's a Muslim for its presidential candidate and a Muslim for its running mate. Well, to help me make sense of it, or former chairman of the Nigerian Ports Authority, a former military governor of Ondo State, and a former deputy national vice chairman Southwest of the People's Democratic Party, Bode George, joins me on the program today. I wanted us to start in Abuja because, of course, the presidential election is the bigger fish to fry as the main opposition party that's been out of power for the last 8 years. So, you know, the PDP is attempting to wrestle power from the APC in 2023. I say it's not happening, and I'm saying that because even the PDP seems to have marketability problems. Another northerner, it seems very insensitive. You and I know since 1999, all the parties have stuck to this concept of rotation. This is the first time in our polity that the two major political parties are doubling down and jettisoning that mix that we normally have: Muslim, Christian, Northern, Southerner. So, you know, for the PDP, it would seem to me that it had no regard for its Southern members. No wonder a man like Wike, seems to be very angry. And even the chairman of the board of trustees of the PDP, Walid Jibrin, admitting this morning that it is unfair for the party's presidential candidate and national chairman to come from the same zone. So I want you to, take us through this. How can a party that promoted rotation, between regions end up in this place where they're pushing for its 16-year unbeaten run at the presidency for the North?
I don't regard it as a major problem.
Yes.
I see it as a flash in the pan. Because in life, even currently in America,
Yes.
if you have been following their own story about Trump, about Biden, about the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, haven't existed for over 200 years.
Yes.
They still have the human problems. As long as you have human beings in any organization, you are bound to have flashes. But thank God, when the rules are made, you obey the rules. Before 1960, when we got our independence,
Yes.
all political parties were tribal. They were all regional parties, and they now were looking for a coalition to be able to form a national government, because not one single region can do it alone.
Yes.
Now, but having said that, the major problem that bedeviled Nigeria from the onset was you had the majority tribes in the north, the minority tribes. Also in the south, you had the majority tribes and minority tribes. So after every election,
Yes.
the majority had their way and they had their say, but the minorities were onlookers. Same in the south.
Yes.
So that created a massive friction. And, by and large, trying to form government and all this, if you go back into the history,
Yes.
that led us to the emergency period in Western region, led us to the unsettling matters in the South, and eventually that friction led to the first coup, the civil war, the military incursion into government. These things are part of our history.
Yeah.
And it's like we have forgotten about history. And those who forget their past are bound to be confined to the dustbin of that same history.
Yes.
We had left undone the teaching of history in this country. And so the pitfalls of the past cannot be avoided.
Yes.
It's a major concern. Now, the founding fathers of the PDP, and I'll name a few of them,
Yes.
who could not sit in the same room discussing politics, said to themselves there was need for us to meet. Chibolage was one from the north, from the southwest. Dr. Alex Ekweme, how would he sit with Chibolage discussing politics?
Yes.
All right. Now, Jim Wobodo, how would even Jim sit with Dr. Alex Ekweme discussing politics? Papa Solomon La from Plateau, Alhaji Siroma, and Pamanga Tuko, Alhaji Rimi, and few
So
others.
many others, yes.
So they now say, look, in the interest of this country called Nigeria, let's have a revisit to how best we can manage ourselves so that we can avoid the pitfalls of the past and prevent these military boys from coming back to governance. They met in 1998.
Yes.
That's how they conceptualized the idea of People's Democratic Party. Now, what they did at that time was, listen, to remove that friction that I said, they now decided that, look, let us divide Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones. Northwest, Northeast, North Central.
Yes.
Now you see, they have been able to recognize the majority tribe and the minority tribe. In the south, the southwest, south-south, and southeast. This is not in our national constitution.
It isn't, no.
Right. But they conceptualized it and decided that that was a better way to manage Nigeria. Now, they now sat back and said, look, let's look at the 6 top positions in the land. The president, the vice president, the Senate president, the Speaker of the House, the Federal House, and the Secretary to the government, and the National Chairman of the party. You see what they had done? 6 geopolitical zones, 6 top positions. Right. And they now have been able to integrate the party with the legislative arm and the executive arm of government.
Yeah.
You know, there are 3 what they couldn't do, but the only thing they cannot do is get involved with the judiciary, because it must be completely independent.
Yes.
But they now move the party to weave it within the 2 other agencies, organs. Now, having done that, they now said, if the president comes from the north, the vice president must come from the south. Senate president from the north. Speaker must come from the south. Secretary to government must come from the north. And the chairman of the party from the south. So you have 3 up in the north,
down.
3 down. And after 8 years, all positions in the north must come to the south.
We'll switch.
We switch, and all positions in the south will go to the north. What that created was that sense of inclusivity, that whether you are minority or majority, you are recognized by your country. So that went on. It was a brilliant idea.
Yes.
But it was not novel, because it exists from time immemorial in Switzerland. And then the next thing they did was they said, okay, if after 8 years, you have to switch top and bottom, that there is also a rotation. It doesn't mean only the majority tribes will get the presidency.
Yes, you microzone.
You microzone it. That, wait, if it comes to the south, you know who has been there before, who didn't. But you still can compete.
Yes.
But the rationale is, if you've been there before,
yes,
you must give us a much solid, better argument why you should have it the second time.
To come back.
Okay, exactly. But if you don't have that, gentleman's agreement, and it is in the constitution
of the PDP. So that's the surprising thing. With this history now, why are we where we are today with the PDP?
I would also explain how we found ourselves in this shithole.
Yes.
Now, setting up a committee to review the zoning, they had about almost 50-something members. To do what?
Why did they need to review the zoning?
Human factor. To suit one purpose
Yes,
against
or
the
other.
What do you do? The founding fathers cannot remain there forever. Those who are coming behind them, who are supposed to follow the rules, started manipulating and trying to think you are much smarter than the other. It leads into this state of confusion. In fact, I was shocked when I listened to some of our members getting up and saying, "Oh, this idea of zoning is dead. We don't need any more zoning in this country." It's like saying Nigeria is dead, you don't need any more zoning.
Yeah.
This is, in fact, it is far more important to do zoning now.
Yes.
With all
than
this
ever before.
Than even that time in 1998. So, human behavior.
In 2015, when it was zoned to the north, I don't recall any southerner buying a form or interfering in the process or taking part in the primaries.
You know, I tell you one thing. Even from the very onset,
Yes.
the national constitution is different from our own party constitution.
Yes.
We cannot force anybody from contesting, because it will tell you the Nigerian constitution guarantees
My right.
my right.
Yes.
But okay, at that time, when the party decided that the presidency should come to the south, I remember vividly, Alhaji Rimi said nobody can stop him from contesting, and he bought the form. He went to the field, but he was defeated by the party.
Yes.
So we don't tell people don't contest.
Okay. So we'll take a first break now. When we come back, I want you to take it from the point that I'm looking at now.
Right,
that
the current one.
you know, with this history you've given us, it makes it very difficult for the party's foot soldiers to sell this presidential ticket and the candidate to Nigerians, because, you know, as I said earlier on, the PDP seems to have no respect for its southern members. So join us again after the break. I wanted you to take it from the point that I'm making, that in not considering the feelings of southern members, it's very difficult. Speaking with a lot of PDP members, it's almost impossible a task you've given the foot soldiers. Go and sell this candidacy to Nigerians.
You see, I like I said, in politics, the laws are laws, but human beings are human beings.
They put their own spin on it.
Even in those established countries with democratic practices, you listen to the world news, you hear how they are spinning,
Yes.
how people will come with lies, you know, and they were still perpetuating lies to people. And we are just how many years old in politics.
Yes.
But these are lessons we are going to learn, because in the final analysis, the truth will prevail. Now, we looked at it, like I said, they allowed everybody to come from all the corners to compete.
Yes.
Now, and the most important thing was the statement credited to Yosha Ayu as a foundation member of this party.
Yes.
The moment he emerged as chairman,
Yes.
he made a statement, and I'll quote him,
Yeah.
that if the presidential candidate comes from the north, I will resign.
And you're sure he said that
Oh,
statement?
you bet he said it, that he will resign.
Why
You
is
know,
he not resigning now?
the human behavior, I just tell you, that's why we are hammering. Your word should be your bond.
Yes.
You must be honorable enough. You must be committed enough. You must be loyal enough. To no individual ambition
Yes.
can ever be larger or higher than the corporate ambition of the party.
In fairness to him,
Right.
I'm thinking, did he mean that statement in the sense that if the PDP wins the presidency, then I will resign?
Now let me take it from there.
Yes.
You now want to bring and telling people, oh, what I mean is, when the presidency comes from emerges there, then I will. Now those people who are asking that they must be giving something substantial to convince the hearts and minds
Yes.
of these foot soldiers you are talking about,
Yes.
must feel that they are part of this system. that we are part of, we are loyal to and committed to this system. If you are telling them, give me your votes, then after if we have won, then
we will consider you.
Oh. Who is the Mugu here? You are asking the people, trust me.
Yes.
And they are saying, hey, we trusted you before. How did you end up here? How did we get to where we are?
And this point of trust you make is very important, because one of the arguments that people use against people of Southeast extraction, when they say that they're marginalized and that it should be their turn, I always say, well, you know, the Southeast have historically always voted for the People's Democratic Party.
Oh, yeah.
If any party was going to give them that ticket, it would have been the PDP. And not only did the PDP not consider the Southeast at all, they didn't even consider the whole of the South. They've given the ticket again to the North.
You see, we were all there at the convention hall. See, this is where the political maneuvers, come in. Now, on that day, if you recall, all right, first, before then, you had the Southern Governors Forum, the PDP Governors Forum, and all those contesting from the South had already have listened to the voices of the governors to say, and the members, that look, yes, it will come to the South, it will come to the North. And what happened there is a lesson for history. It is a lesson for history. And it also borders on trust. And as a Christian, for me, the way I was brought up and the way I live now, the only being that I trust is the Almighty God. Your trust in any man or a woman will lead you to hell. It's a lesson.
How is the party going to manage the River State Governor?
That's what I'm coming at now.
Yes.
It's not the first time this kind of thing had happened in the party. I remember I contested for the chairmanship of the party.
Yes.
I went around this country. I snaked around this country, state by state, campaigning. It was like a presidential campaign, because the PDP is a massive, big organization.
Yes.
So I went all over. But 2 days, the last week, I saw the...
You saw signs.
I saw signs as a general going to war.
Yes.
I saw the signs. I got intelligence reports. I saw the maneuvers that were going on. I made the noise about these observations. Don't destroy this party. But 24 hours before, people sent emissaries to me to ask me to look at it. I'm a practitioner in the party. I'm an experienced hands there. That look, who controls most of the delegates to the convention? And I looked at it. They asked me that, okay, please, in the interest of the party, blah, blah, blah. Whereas there were sections of the country that said, no, you just go ahead. And I overnight, I thought about it. And I said, would my own personal ambition be bigger than the party's ambition? No. No. If the Almighty wants me to be there, nobody can stop me from getting there.
Yeah.
If I've listened to this, I won't be used as a pawn to destroy this party. So I reviewed it. The first thing I did was I woke my wife up. About 6 o'clock in the morning, I said, look, I'm stepping down. She didn't even argue with me. I didn't even tell her the reasons.
Yes.
But she knew that we would have gone into the battle. We would have rattled the party, and it would have been, a storm.
Yes.
That probably we would not get out of it. I said, okay, I'm pulling out. She said, let's pray. She prayed. And I called an emergency press conference. What press conference? You would have thought you were in the White House because it was a relief. I said, I was pulling back. And I did. Now, I'm still a member of this party.
Yes.
No, and in my zone, in the Southwest zone, nobody has even been national chairman of the party from inception till today.
Till now.
But, the imponderables of life, there is no fixated thing anywhere. The only thing that is fixated is, you were born on such and so day.
And
there will be an exit.
Yeah.
You bet it. No perpetuity in life. So somebody is groaning and saying, it is this, is that.
Yeah.
We have found ourselves in this situation.
In this situation, how do we handle it?
That's it. That should be the solution.
Is it not time, for instance, for whoever comes second in primaries to be the natural choice of running mate? Because maybe that would assuage Governor Wike's feelings.
No, I think we had passed that stage. I have appealed to Wike. Like the three main languages in this country. In the north, they say Kadan Kada.
Yes.
In the east, they say Wayo Wayo.
Yes.
In the Yoruba land, Surulere, Suru. Take it easy, Jeje. There is no perpetuity in anything. I referred him then, and I will still refer him today, to go and read the history of Alexander the Great, that great general. At the age of 32, what happened in the end? Conquered the whole world, we amassed everything. Also, on the Atiku side,
Yes.
because of these things we have been discussing, you need everybody on board.
That's why you said a divided party.
A divided house is a defeated house. Yeah.
Is defeat the prognosis that you see in the party if all these things are not settled?
We will settle them. We still have, now you have emissaries from Atiku and Wike, they are still talking.
Yes.
Now, the Board of Trustees, like I told you earlier on, the upper chamber, the conscience of the party.
Yes.
With our chairman, I'm happy. He said it publicly that the Board of Trustees will wade into it. We still have about 5 weeks before we can commence campaign.
Yes.
I believe the capacity of this party, because of the congregation of highly tutored, experienced, and committed and loyal members of the party, we, the Board of Trustees, will call the shots and tell everybody, calm down. What is the solution to this? There's only one thing everybody is asking for. Let there be that sense of inclusiveness.
Yes.
The inclusivity of the concept that established the PDP must be brought in now. There is no way, like I've told you, the 6th, that the presidential fellow, whether he's elected or not elected, will come from the same zone as
the national chairman.
It's not possible. Even if we go to that, you do it to win the hearts and minds of the people from that you are still a member,
Yes.
a respectable, responsible member of this association.
Yes.
They will be committed to giving you their votes. If we don't do that, what you're telling them? Go to hell.
Yes.
And I say, thank you very much. I'll go to hell. In the final analysis, if everybody in the North votes for our northern candidates, a majority of the people in the South don't vote for him, you cannot win the villa without a substantial vote
across board.
Because, you know, the rule, the 2/3 of Nigeria
Yes.
now is 24 states.
Yes.
You must have 1/3 or something.
You must have a quarter of the votes as well.
In every 24 states. So how do you win? And for the future of the younger generation, look at the state of the country today. I'm even shocked that APC are bold enough to bring out candidates with the mess they have created, unbelievable mess this nation is going through now. Take any sector. They are insulting Nigerians by saying they are ready to contest. And do what? You know, I was rattled a little bit from Thursday last week when somebody, Okoye, at the
INEC,
was saying, electronic transfer, we still do manual. I said, what the heck is this man talking about? Hey, but I was happy.
They came out to clarify.
My daughter told me, said, Daddy, calm down. That, hey, read the clarification.
Yes, they clarify that.
We thank God. We have moved from the ancient marina to a modern world, to a civilized world.
Yes.
That people will now look at us and say, you are elected, honorable member, you are definitely honorable.
Yes.
Because the voice of the people will be well heard in the next election. We've seen the 3 elections, Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun. And I pray, and I will say it, that the chairman of INEC had worked with us before. I have seen him in action. And I know he has a fear of God in him. And we must thank also the president.
Yes.
Because it was his bill that he brought. We brought the bill before when we had majority in both houses, Senate and House of Reps, and we do to say, look, let's modernize our electoral process.
Yes.
They threw it off.
Yes.
But that they went through it now, God has heard her prayers. Voice populi, voice Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of the Almighty God. So we are looking forward to it. No mago, no manipulations, under table cuttings and all that.
Yes.
Those who think that having stolen so much of the wealth of the nation, they can now give it back to manipulate and keep them in government. You know, I want to refer to one of the AIGs who went to the House of Representatives, 1999. When I spoke with him, you know what he said? That he was hell-shocked. That some of those people that he prosecuted as first-class criminals were in the House.
With him.
So it's a joke. Let us allow the people, as it is the major part of democratic tenets. Anybody coming to public office, you must prove yourself.
Yes.
That you are worthy and they are trustworthy to the people. That you will be there to work, to manage the resources of our land for the benefit of those people. That's the classical definition of democratic tenet.
Yeah.
So we are looking forward to it. All these manipulations, we have seen the result now. The last 8 years, we derailed completely. The only thing I will give my salute is modernizing the electoral process.
All right. Join us again after the break. Right. Welcome back. Now I want us to come down to Lagos State, you know, your state. you have vowed to leave Nigeria a few times.
Yeah.
In 2015, you said if APC won the election, you would leave Nigeria because you felt that Tinubu would just order that you be picked up. You've also said you will acquire Togolese citizenship, while you've been calling on the EFCC to investigate the Alpha Beta company, the company behind whatever it does in Lagos State here. So, you know, I've got all these questions here, but I just want to ask you. Your accusations have been consistent over the years. I interviewed you in 2014. You said the same things you say today about the APC's presidential candidate. Yet, nothing sticks. Why do you hate Tinubu so much?
When I hear that, it bothers me. I'm a bona fide Lagosian. Born here, schooled here, from a highly respectable, responsible family. Hate him. You know, it takes guts and it takes your upbringing. You know, maybe I should tell you, my great-granduncle was the first Nigerian politician. That was Papa Herbert Macaulay. If I have come from that background, telling truth to power can never be my problem. Someday, and it's coming gradually, the truth will be told. I've asked one simple question. Who owns Alpha Beta? Which country, which state will have the Inland Revenue Service? You know, that's the department that collects all the taxes.
Yes.
He has a consulting company collecting the taxes of Lagos State on behalf of the Inland Revenue Service.
Okay.
Now, where is it done anywhere in the world?
Okay.
Or even here?
Let me counter that.
Okay.
What if we say that, yes, he has this consulting company that has sort of replaced the Inland Revenue Service, but let's look at the effect of what they've done. Raised IGR, internally generated revenue, has been raised from, they say, Lagos State says, from 400 million to about 45 billion. Perhaps if the Inland Revenue Service was doing this by itself, Lagos State wouldn't be making so much money today.
Okay, let me counter you. When you went out to contest, you told the people, I will manage the resources of your land for your benefit.
Yes.
Now, what was he going to do in the government house? You know how much he collects from that? Is he doing, if he wants as a private person, yeah, he can do that. The fact that you are elected to serve the people, does that entitle you to cream or to get a massive cut? That's why he's run amok. Right now, in fact, you know, the fellow who managed the place, the guy who ran, some fellow who ran away, made all the allegations against him, and that they were owing him 45 billion. That's from our treasury. You want to see the state of Lagos now? They are lying, they are spinning, they are, you know, manipulating the media to tell them Lagos, after the federal debt portfolio, which state is next? Who's going to pay that money? Look at the state. Is it in education? Is it in infrastructure? Is it in human development? Is it in public health? Look at all the lands that we have. We have had governors here. The first governor was General Bode George. He retired and went to live in his house in Ilupeju.
Yes.
All right. We had Papa Jagondi. He retired and was staying in the same house
in Ilupeju.
In Ilupeju. You know, this guy that is from Iragbiji, he's not even a Lagosian.
Does it matter?
Can you tell me any state in this country where a non-indigene is governor? You know why it is reasonably acceptable and accepted in Lagos is the fact that Lagos has always been, from inception, the commercial nerve center for the whole of West Africa.
Yes.
We don't do agriculture here. Even if we do, it's all minimal. We don't do anything but buying and selling, commerce,
Trading.
We have a saying in the local parlance that Uju Bati and Beti, Uju Niteko, meaning as long as there is buying and selling and trading in Lagos, we will remain at the top. That is the literal translation of what it means. Yeah. So we don't drive people here. We don't discriminate against people. When they come, we'll accept them. If you bring your wares, we look. If we like it, we buy. You make your money. Oh, can I have a piece of land? We give you. You want to settle? Settle. Where? The only state that is a bit near us is Kano. No other state. Even Ogun, next door neighbor, here. If you are not Yewa, or Eba, or Remo, or Ijebu,
yes.
Who are you?
But his supporters will always say that he's been tried and tested. He's faced this code of conduct tribunal. Nothing came out of it. I mean, have you ever considered writing a petition to the EFCC against
What
him?
about all the petitions that have been written? Apapa sent one that is still current. It's still there. You know, let me tell you this. I am emboldened to talk about it because we have the facts. All right? Lagosians also, genuine, trustworthy Lagosians work in the system. They see all the things that are going on. The former governor also recently told the world.
That's Akinwumi Bode.
Right. Is he also lying? He has sat down there and said, look, what started the quarrel between him and Tinubu was the issue of how much he was to be paid monthly basis, $50 billion and $5 billion. Now, so everybody is lying, right? But I pray that God, in His infinite mercy, will show us the truth very soon. Because for the first time since 1999,
yes,
the truth will be told. If the electoral process has been modernized, will be captured here in next year's elections, the truth will come out. You wait. You will see whether Lagosians are happy or not. We meet with the people, we listen to the people, we see them. Yes, because I've been talking about it. You know, after the election in Osun, you know what he said, what Bola said. He said, oh, this electronic transfer is a mess. It's not, it should go back to the old system so they can continue to satisfy his inordinate ambition. Now, I'm not saying, you brought about hatred.
yes,
I'm concerned. Pages of history will say we did not all go to sleep. Those who have been picking the droppings from his table,
the crumbs
on his table, we will see.
But you know,
because it's so embarrassing. Where in the world is this done? I have asked, who owns Alpha Beta? By the time we start the next sets of campaign, Sanwo-Olu must be prepared to show us the complete state of the finances of the state. You know,
it sounds impossible that one man will hold the state by the jugular. And this is 2022. You've been consistently saying these things,
And
but
if I'm
nothing
lying-
has happened.
No, that
He's
is
never
the
been
system.
arrested.
He was, you said he has not been arrested. Now, you wait until you will read my memoirs. He was invited. The man who headed EFCC went to the National Assembly, publicly said the greatest thief in this country is Bola Tinubu. He's still alive.
Nuhu Ribadu.
Right. And then suddenly after that, how did he get Nuru to get the presidential ticket?
Nuhu was the presidential candidate of the ACN.
How did he get it? So these are statements he made. Then suddenly from nowhere, I just saw, what's Nuru doing there? All right. Now, you can take the people and lie to the people, even 99.9. That 1% belongs to the Almighty God. And like I said, voice populi, voice Dei. The voice of the people with the voice of God. That time to ask, give us the layout of our finances, because we are also next to the federal government in debt portfolio. The greatest debtor is federal government, followed by my state, Lagos State. So who is going to pick up those bills and pay? Owó Èkó, it means the resources, the earnings of Lagos. Here, it doesn't even go across the bridge. We will ask.
And if you're trying to dislodge him here in Lagos State, you have Adediran Jando as your candidate, but it would seem that somehow, I'm looking at things, the PDP doesn't seem to be very happy with the selection of Funke Akindele as Jando's running mate. It looks as if the elders of the party in Lagos State had no contribution whatsoever to the emergence of...
This is when I wish that politics is like mathematics.
Straightforward.
Like you have 1 + 1 = 2.
Yes.
In this game, people will tell you, did you put it as 1? Or is it a 7? The way you wrote it, I thought it was a reverse. All kinds of stories will come. That is that's politics. But I call it politricks, because if morality, the absence of morality in politics lands you in the shithole, no matter how long. Honesty of purpose, commitment, dedication to the needs of the people are defined by them, are the tenets that will take you to the promised land. You will weasel, you will spin, you will lie. In the final analysis, the truth will be told. And it's only the truth that can liberate you. You can go on forever. I am saying it authoritatively.
Yes.
That you cannot perpetuate this illegality in this state. Nobody has ever done that and gotten away with it. The history of Alexander the Great, that great general that traversed the length and breadth of the then world, amassed so much wealth, amassed so much resources, and he was now heading back to Mesopotamia. You know what happened? He fell sick. Called his doctors. They said, we're sorry, we can't do anything to this. It looks like, say, am I going to die? I said, yes, you're going to die. He said, I have one request. First of all the resources that he has acquired,
Yes.
started giving them away. Now, please, on my way back, everything must be dashed out. And if I die before I get to my hometown, make sure as you put me in my coffin, leave my hands outside so that people will know that my hands are completely empty.
I left with nothing.
Absolutely. We came into this world, as he said in the Holy Book, we will live with nothing. Naked we came, naked we will go. So what is all the hassle? You are acquiring to the detriment of millions of these youths there. Come to my local government. I grew up there. I went to St. John's School, Aroloya. Yes. Everything he has said about himself is a lie. He said he went to St. Paul's, Aroloya. There's nothing like St. Paul's, Aroloya. So St. Paul's, Brefoot, and there's St. John's, Aroloya. I went to that St. John's, Aroloya. You know, it's a...
Does it matter his primary and secondary school when they're saying that he's got a degree from the Chicago State University?
Please, you know, I want our, we are all still developing. If this had been either in England, in France, or in America, that you're talking, what we are asking, give us a proof. You know, the moment you put yourself out to be considered as a public officer elected by the people,
yes,
there is a breach of trust. You are telling them, trust me. Before I can trust you, I want to know who you are. You just don't come up in his own world. They don't need to. That's the mafioso world.
You don't drop in at 23 and we don't know anything about you before then.
If you now decide, I want to be this, yes, I want to be convinced before I can give you my trust on the day that I go out to vote. That's what I do. I want to know who you are. That when you get there, you will manage the resources of our land for our benefit. Simplicity. That's all we're asking. So all this story about why it will come. There is nothing that has a beginning that will not have an end. Nothing in life. So I have absolutely nothing that I hate him for. My family is intact. His family is intact. He hasn't crossed my red lines. So, but for us to sit like mumus, like buffoons, like idiots, no. The first Nigerian politician in this country, national, was my great-granduncle. These are the ways that they left in the family. Tell the truth to power. Don't destroy the nation because of your greed. And for me, all those guys that are there, let them be prepared. There will be a day people will refer and ask questions. What did you do with our money? Simple. Whether I've been saying in 2000, and I said, I didn't say in 2014-15 that I would go away from Nigeria. No, I'm a general here. But I said, if he becomes the president, I'd be too sorry for this nation if we are all sleeping and we are so stupid that that is the kind of person we throw up. I won't be part of it. I'm closer to 80 now. In another 2 years, I'll be 80. Hey, why would I be wangling in idiocy and nothingness? Yeah. Because it will work. You know, what he did in Lagos, if it's properly x-rayed, he's going to transfer it. It's Alpha Beta here. It will be Zulu Alpha in Abuja. That's all we are saying. I'm happy there will be this period. It's a long stretch.
Till February, yes.
We will discuss. We will debate. Let them bring him on board. Let him come and explain. Simple question.
Yes.
one young man was asking that I should answer the question. I felt insulted because of his knowledge and his background. For him, if it had been an illiterate, I would have forgiven him to say I should answer. I said, who owns Alpha Beta Company? He claims they were asking him.
Yes.
And he said, oh, they should ask me to answer the question. That's what would they have given him as payment? Yeah, he can afford it. What happened? The history of their convention in Abuja. That will be another story. All this will come. Yeah, it will come during the campaign.
Once the campaign starts, in another couple of days, we'll be in September. I want to thank you very much for spending an hour with me today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. And thank you for watching. I'm Angela Ajitumobi.